Lee, thanks for talking to us again. Here we go, getting ready for the weekend, of course. Let's start with an update from the treatment room. How's it looking in terms of Jack Powell got 90 minutes in midweek, Jack Lancaster getting closer, and an update on Colin Thomas?
Yeah, it was good for Powley to get 90 minutes against Congleton. I thought it was a really competitive game. Took some bangs, which I think is good for him, builds his confidence up. You look at his data after the game, covered a lot of distance and got sprints in. So he's moving in the right direction. He was obviously involved in the squad Saturday. Touch wood, he's fine for over the next couple of days and he can be involved on Saturday. Jack Lancaster's moving along nicely. Again, it's just about making the right decision in terms of if we involve him, if we don't. But he's been with the players because we just don't want a reoccurrence of what's gone on with Jack. But if you ask him, he'd put himself firmly in the frame. Connor Thomas went and saw a specialist who looked after him last time. He's had an injection just to try and speed the process up, but he'll be a few weeks off. And again, mindful of trying to learn from mistakes or things that didn't work last time with players that we can address and look to implement for the next time they're injured, to see if we can then get a run of sustained play with these players.
Well, you could have done without those long-term injuries. You mentioned many times that most clubs have to go through a season with a certain amount of injuries, but you must be delighted, you and your staff, the way that the teams that you have selected in this period of not having a full-strength squad to get you where you are at the moment, in a good place. Yeah,
and it's about players stepping up, isn't it? They all want their opportunities, and I think the players, your Adrians, Lunties, they've stepped up. And that's what you need when you're going through the spell that we had. Tough games, could hardly pick a bench really on occasions. And these players have taken the chances. And again, I spoke about them being further down the line in terms of their development, but that's put them even further down the line. And now these players are always in the reckoning if they're going to start games. So really delighted with the response. It's all right going out putting team plans together, but the response that these players are giving the club each week has been brilliant.
One of those players who's been missing for a few weeks certainly contributed in midweek against Congleton, and you give him some minutes, is Finn Roberts. You must be delighted that he's got back and he's had to take a bit of time out.
Yeah, and it's just maybe accumulation of being in this environment. Yes, Adrian coming as the same type of player, but you'd probably, with who he was playing against every week, just a bit more robust to it. And things just maybe caught up with Finn, but he came on the pitch doing it. He just looks an athletic player, doesn't he? He's a good size, he's got bundles of enthusiasm, and again he'll be another one, particularly after he came on against Newport. I think we'll be looking, he could have probably pushed on a little bit if he hadn't have had this little setback, and now it's up to him again to perform when he gets on the pitch for the under-21s, the reserves, to put himself in a position where he's pushing for the first team.
There was plenty of attention on the game last week. You came through it. You were probably a little bit unfortunate. You couldn't get the 3 points, but you came away with a result that you didn't lose. Now it's another centre of attention game, isn't it, against third place in the table in Notts County?
Yeah, and I think these types of games will come around a lot during the season, not just for us, but for, touch wood, we continue to do what we're doing. But for a lot of teams, because I've said before, teams get 2 or 3 wins, they're propelled right up the league. So I think these types of games will come more often than not during the season, with a variety of different teams involved. But they're a good team, Notts County. We've got a lot of time for Stuart, an excellent coach, doing a brilliant job. They recruited heavily in the summer with the resources they've got, but it's all right recruiting. You've then got to go and put a plan together and make it happen, and they're certainly doing that.
Once again, international duty has called for both sets of clubs, for you and for Notts County.
Yeah, it has. Obviously, they're missing their set forward. We're missing a couple. But if you have good players, particularly younger players, there's a chance they're going to get called up for their national teams. We don't put any pressure on them not to do that. I think it's something players should be proud of. Obviously, England are going through that at the minute with a lot of debate, particularly on the radio coming in this morning. But it's something we celebrate with the players, and it shows how well some of them are doing.
It's been a real rapid rise for Adrian Thibault, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. And he probably thinks these type of things come every other week for him. Scoring a goal, starting games, international call up. But he's just so such a good lad. He just gets on with his work, man of few words, smiling all the time. I've said before, I think he looks like he's enjoying what he's going through at the minute, and he's pretty level-headed, so I think when that curve just starts to flatten off a little bit, which it naturally does at some point, I think he's going to be able to deal with that, but it has been a real rapid rise for him, but I think he's for his international call-up, I think it's justified on the performance he's given us.
Let's get back to the weekend's game then. Notts are coming here. I don't think they've lost away from home this season. You're having a great run at home. It has look again, doesn't it, where it could be edge of the seats type of fixture?
Yeah, definitely. It'll be an exciting game. Notts will bring plenty of fans. You would think, with it not being too far away. Two teams in form. So yeah, it's going to be a lively game. You'd imagine. They dictate the play. They have a lot of possession in the game, so it's not like a switch is going to be done and things are going to alter. It's us getting our little bits right in terms of what we want to look like without the football. We'll have good enough players on the pitch. Individually, we feel to hurt them. Exactly the same for them. They've got outstanding. I know they've got a couple of injuries, which we expect to be back for the game. So yeah, it should be a good game.
It counts for nothing what happened last year. You got those 6 points out of the 2 games, but it's all about this one game at a time, Saturday afternoon, but you can't wait again.
Yeah, we can't wait, and I think the players have done brilliant to put themselves in a position again. You just spoke about what type of fixture it is. The players have done brilliant to put themselves in this situation again, where a real interesting game at the top end of the table and the right end of the table where we want to be. So all credit to the players for being able to put this run together. Obviously a couple of losses, but put this run together where it's put us in this position where the fans will be excited, Notts County fans will be excited for the game, and it should be a good afternoon.